Hey guys, it's your girl, Lady Lydia, and I am coming to you with a chocolate bourbon pecan pie. It is so delicious, and I know you guys are going to enjoy this recipe. Get into all its greatness. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So now we're going to start out with 2 cups of pecans. I am going to go ahead and roast all of the pecans. I was thinking about roasting half, but then I was like, you know what? Let's just throw it all up in there. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and put this in the oven about 300 degrees, maybe about 15 minutes. That's all I need. So while that's in the oven, we're going to get started with our filling. So I have 1 cup of brown sugar, and I'm using dark brown. You can use light brown, that's totally up to you. Um, don't pay attention to that sweet potato pie. So we're adding 1/3 cup of flour with a half of a teaspoon of salt. Now, if you're going to use salted butter in this recipe, then I would encourage you to use 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So we're going to just kind of like blend that together ever so lightly. I use my little whiz just to kind of help break up. You know how the brown sugar can be sometimes. It be a little clumpy. And then plus I wanted to make sure that the flour was blended in with it as well. So now we're starting with our Karo syrup. I'm using about a cup of the Karo syrup. We're going to blend that in with the brown sugar mixture. So let's just get that all in there, get all the goodness, everything out of the cup. And so yeah, we'll go ahead and get that mixed in together. Now, keep your eye on the pecans because they're going to be coming out very soon. So I just want to make sure that this is kind of blended well. Now I'm adding in the bourbon, which is about 3 tablespoons of bourbon, and we're going to blend that in with it. Honey, you have to taste this. It's not going to get you drunk. It's not going to even have the alcohol flavor in there. So as you just saw, I also added in 1 tablespoon of vanilla, and then we're going in with about 4 tablespoons of butter. You can use more if you like. It's totally up to you because it just kind of makes it rich. So we're going to blend that in together. Make sure it's smooth. As you can see, I've taken out my pecans. They're sitting on the side. And so we're going to start with our eggs. So we're going to add 3 eggs to this mixture. You're going to blend it really well just to make sure it's smooth, the batter is smooth, you don't see any egg yolks, everything is blended in perfectly. Now, as you can see, I just showed you the chocolate choices that you can use. I'm adding in 1 cup of the pecans along with the chocolate wafers. You can use chocolate chips with this recipe. Now, you can also add the chocolate chips in the batter without adding it to the nuts. Totally up to you, and it is still come out delicious. So, but this is just the way I wanted to do it. So now we're preparing our crust. Of course, as you could tell, this is pre-made crust that I purchased, and I'm just going to go ahead and shape it into the pan. So when you're shaping it into the pan, I'm pushing it in the pan at the edges, and then I'm just pressing it with my hand gently, because you don't want to like force it in there without pushing the the crust in there, because you can have tears and you don't need that. Now I'm also folding the crust over just to kind of get a little uniform, make it look neat. And then plus it helps to shape the crust once you have it fold over. Especially when you have some crust hanging. And I like to have a little bit hanging so that I can fold it, because to me it just helps you to work better with it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this, guys, and I'll be right back with you. Now that we have that crust prepared, we're going to go ahead and mix in our pecans and chocolate into the batter. We're just going to fold it in, and just make sure it's all incorporated together. I like my pecan pies to have a little bit of body when you're eating it. The batter tastes great, of course. However, the pecans inside, throughout the filling, to me is delicious. And guys, remember, you don't have to use the bourbon if you don't want to. That's totally up to you, but it does take it up a notch with the flavors. So you have to try this recipe if you are not afraid. Now, we're going to go ahead and then layer the pecans on top of the batter. I'm going to also push some of the pecans in there after I completely cover the top of the pie, just to kind of help push some of the pecans inside of the pie. That also, to me, helps the pecans that are chopped to kind of like stay in the batter, because it rises up to the top as you cook it. So yeah, let's go ahead and finish this, and I'll be back with you guys. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and pop this into the oven. Let this cook, and as you know, this is YouTube, so we are about to show you the finished product. And voila, it is done. So listen, I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I know that a lot of times I tend to cut my desserts when I show you guys, but unfortunately I was preparing this for somebody, and yeah, here is, I was able to grab a couple of pictures to let you guys see the batter and the inside of this pie. This pecan pie, guys, is so good. And as you can see, it's cut because they had several more pieces there ready to devour. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you take care.